Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are very pleased to have in the studio with us today Brigitte Blazys. She is the Executive Director, CEO of Wahupa Educational Services. How are you doing, Brigitte?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we can't wait to hear about all the cool things that your organization does. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. A lot of cool things going on at Liberty Station, and also going to be joined by the producer of our Spotlight on the Community Show, Brandon Joe. He is also the CEO and founder, a young entrepreneur of a program called Treasure Hacks. But Kristen, let's get right to it.
Yeah, let's just hear about the mission of the organization to tee us off.
Yeah, Wahupa Educational Services primarily serves high school students throughout San Diego County, anywhere from North County all the way to Chula Vista, San Isidro area. We serve about 3,500 students, and we have 3 different programs to help students go to college and pursue a career that's really meaningful to them. Our 3 programs are Talent Search. Talent Search is a program that mostly serves students in northern San Diego. And we do a lot of tutoring with the students to help them pass their A through G coursework. We also allow those students the opportunity to apply to financial aid and financial scholarships so they can actually attend college. And our second program is Upward Bound. Upward Bound is an awesome program that focuses on a lot of social emotional development of these high school students. We do a variety of different events, from cultural events all the way to college tours, allowing them college access. And our third program is EOC, Educational Opportunities Center. And this primarily serves adults. So adults anywhere from 19 years of age all the way until 60 who are looking to really either change their career path, go to trade school, and kind of explore different areas that they might be interested in.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I want to get into all of these. I'm sure we'll get into all of these, but what kind of brought you to the organization?
Yeah, I have a really strong passion for education in general. I started off my career as a teacher and then moved up to principal and worked for the Del Mar Union School District. So in education for a very, very long time. What I also found important was I am a first-generation college student myself. And being a first-gen college student, I really understood some of the challenges that I faced. So I wanted to support students who might be facing those same challenges.
Did you work with Holly McClurg?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so Holly's, we do a variety of shows on our Cloudcast Media, and one of them is we highlight superintendents around the county.
Amazing.
And Holly works a lot of the Classroom of the Future Foundation and so forth on that. Where were you a principal?
We were at Pacific Beach Presbyterian Preschool, so a small school in PB.
Right, very good. Now, the 3,500 folks you work with, and let's focus on the ones. Are they all first-gen college-bound students, or how do you decide which people go through the program?
That's a great question. Yeah. So they are either first generation and low income. Yeah. But we also, provide services to any student who might be interested. But our primary focus is first generation and low income.
Right. So how did you focus on, the career, pathway stuff? I'm passionate about that because our work with the Classroom of the Future Foundation, as Kristen has heard for many, many times, and we think certainly that is the way to go. Heaven forbid we actually focus on what someone's interested in. What a shock, right? On that. Talk about that. Following the careers.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that we support students is a lot of the students don't really know what they want to do. Right. So really diving deep into their identity, better understanding what they're passionate about, and then providing them with the opportunity to find some of those next steps. So whether that is touring the campuses, looking and meeting certain professors, or it could be anything from, just going to a variety of different events and focusing on STEM, but really diving into what they're most passionate about and what their strengths are.
Right. Before I turn it over to Brandon, do you work with groups such as Workforce Partnership or the chambers or EDCs on here are the trends moving forward? These are going to be the jobs of the future in San Diego County?
We do. We have a partnership with the YMCA and Job Corps.
Yeah.
So we absolutely are looking at also expanding some of those partnerships. So anyone who is interested, we highly encourage them to focus and go to our website at www.wahupa.org to hopefully build even a stronger partnership.
Brandon.
Yeah, I just love the program because at least we're going into college, even students in college, there's so many of us that don't have any idea of what to do. At least, I talked just earlier about how it's very often that first-gen students get put into a box of like, oh, you got to be an engineer, doctor, dentist, and don't explore outside of that because it's just something that's been descended from their parents or from another person. And what I'm really curious about is like, how many students do you see encounter this problem of being completely lost? And what can we do for them other than, like, as your program does, is just show them what these opportunities are like. But describe to me this problem.
Yeah, the problem is definitely huge and massive in scale. We are so fortunate that we are fully funded with the Department of Education to be able to maximize not only our funding, but also be able to serve some of those students that you're speaking to right now. As far as really supporting the students, a lot of the students, after COVID are going through a lot of social emotional disturbances or things that are going on at home. And our programs also support that, specifically our Upward Bound program. So like I mentioned earlier, we would take students on different trips that they may not have had the opportunity to do, such as going to UC Santa Barbara to explore the college campus, really understand what it's like to be on site and really have that college experience, stay in the dorm rooms for an entire week, attend different courses, meet the professors. So it's really just expanding some of their opportunities to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, and I just think that's amazing because for a student, a lot of us look into college as like, I'm going to take like X, Y, and Z courses, but you're giving them the perspective, like it's the experience of living in a dorm, the experience of talking to professors. There's so much more to all of that. And in addition, you mentioned, I guess this is kind of going off of a similar topic, but if a student is getting pressure from like another outside force to go down a pathway they don't think they want to go down, what do you do as the student? Like, how can you push back? Or if you kind of have, and it's also the matter of like, you not quite knowing what is the best for you as well. Like how does your program help out with those types of students?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our program really does start with a personality test and assessment for the student to better understand what their strengths are. And there's a lot of counseling and support for the student to be able to better understand, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want to do. So it's anywhere from asking those open-ended questions, using the personality assessments, and helping them understand what's out there, right? Because they don't have all the information to them. So we are the program that provides all of that information for them, and showing them anywhere from, hey, look, this is a possibility. Here's what schools offer it. Here's how to get into the program. Here's some of the prerequisites that you would have to take, to something a little bit more subjective, such as looking at the student and better understanding, okay, where are your passions? What do you want to do? We oftentimes get students that are like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't even know if I want to go to college. but providing them that information, it's completely free to the student, and allowing them to experience those different opportunities really does lead the student to say, oh my gosh, I loved doing this. And here's what I want my career to be like in the future.
Yeah. We are chatting with Brigitte Blazys. She is the Executive Director and CEO of Wahupa Educational Services. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things for us folk living here in San Diego County, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and Brandon Joe, producer of Spotlight on the Community. So do you use the Risic score? Is that what do you use for the personality? Is it a Holland test? What do you use?
We have used Myers-Briggs.
Okay, yeah.
And we have also used an assessment that Wahupa created.
Oh, really?
An in-house one, yes.
So is it similar to Myers-Briggs or a little bit different? What's the differentiation between the two?
Myers-Briggs is really focused on more of that social emotional kind of intelligence and personality, where ours is focused on what their strengths are that we can connect them to a career.
Right. Exactly. So, Kristen, another question you have?
Yeah. I wondered if you could talk to us about these spring break trips that you did.
Yes. We do a spring break trip every single year, and we partner with those high schools during their spring break. And essentially what we do is we go out to a variety of different colleges. This year, we did all of Northern California. So we take a bus, take about 40 students on these trips to be able to experience that campus life. So we stay in the dorm rooms. We go to different classrooms. We meet alumni. We have presenters of all different careers. And then we move to the next campus to really give students a wide variety of different options that they have within California. Wonderful, wonderful spring break program.
Very cool. So about how many campuses do they get to go on?
So this year we did 6.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And that's over the span of like a week, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, are these campuses tied to some of their interests that they're interested in Cal State Monterey Bay or Stanford or Cal Berkeley or wherever they're going?
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. So we have been working with our students the entire year. So we're able to really match the spring break trip to match their exact interests and what courses they're interested in. Exactly.
Right. So how long have you been doing the program now? How long has it been?
So we have been around for over 50 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So we're hopeful to just continue to put the word out there and continue to expand our mission.
Right. We'll come back from break. One question I want to ask you. So you've been a principal in the Del Mar Union School District, okay? So running a school, now you're doing this program. What would you say your greatest learning has been, the most eye-opening thing since you made that transition? Think about that as well. We always save time in the second half of the program to ask our guests, what can our listeners do to support your efforts? Yeah, money, product, volunteers, all of those in between and so forth. So think about that as well, all right?
Thank you.
We're going to be right back with Brigitte Blazys. She is the Executive Director, CEO of Wahupa Educational Services. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and my producer of Spotlight on the Community Show, Brandon Joe. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 6 decades, just doing great things for us living in San Diego County. We are joined by Brigitte Blazys. She is the Executive Director and CEO of Wahupa Educational Services, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc., and the producer of the Spotlight on the Community Show, Brandon Joe. You had a question, Brandon?
You have a question. Tell me a story about one of the students that have gone through your program. I think that's one of the most amazing things to ask for any of the people that come on a show, because everyone has done amazing things for the students out there. So tell me.
Yeah, I'm going to speak to one of our Upward Bound program students. So we had an Upward Bound student who started the program, didn't know what they wanted to do in their career, was really also struggling with some things at their house. They were from a single family home, and they essentially had to work after school. They tried to get into different sports, but were really struggling with, do I even want to go to college, or do I want to start and just work and get money for my family to help support them? The Upward Bound team really did an amazing job at showing the student that you can do a little bit of both. You can attend college, you can apply for internships, get paid during those internships, but also start to pursue some of your career dreams that you might have. So the student was open to that opportunity, and they actually were able to get into an internship. They got an internship at San Diego State, so very local with their family, being able to provide a little bit of income for their family, but also attended San Diego State during that exact same time. The student graduated. They specifically graduated in engineering, and it was just a remarkable experience to be able to watch the student that didn't think that they were going to college because they had to support their family, but they were able to accomplish both just because of our Upward Bound staff and team.
Yeah, and it's really, opening doors for these students, because the knowledge of how to do it as well, since you don't know what you don't know. So going into that space, every student going into college, complete unknown boundaries and how he can manage that. But the personal, like the family problems as well, is what really, really will drive someone to be able to be like, instead of going to college, see the opportunity and like, oh, I can do work and support my family now, but it's really investing for that later time to be able to pull that whole family into comfort in the future. That is beautiful.
Yeah, it's just an amazing program. And, what's interesting about it, 50 years, you said, is, and we talked about this quite a bit on our Spotlight show before I turn it over to Kristen for a question, and that is, you're impacting that one student, but think of the tentacles, almost what Brandon is talking about. And now you're impacting that student's brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and then the tentacles just go out. So it's not just one person you're hitting hundreds of people with that one person you're benefiting.
Yeah, it's this ripple effect.
It is.
That's so powerful. Yeah. I wondered if you could talk about the Wahupa workshops. I saw that you offered a resume workshop, so maybe speak to that and some of the other ones.
Yeah, so our students have the opportunity to go to, like you mentioned, the resume workshop, where they get to not only just build their resume, but also think about how to match the resume with the job market. Mm-hmm. So very similar to San Diego Workforce Partnerships, helping students find career paths. We create a workshop where we'll go over some of their huge strengths, but also they would bring in a job application that they would want to apply to, mm-hmm. and we help put the job application into the resume to give them a better chance at getting those interviews.
That's amazing. So what are some other, do you do the workshops regularly, or what are some of your other favorites as well?
Yeah, so we do those workshops bi-weekly.
Oh, okay, great.
So we have done resume workshops. We have done tutoring courses specifically in the STEM Math and science is definitely huge right now to be able to support the students. We have done workshops with financial aid. So being able to provide any financial aid support, whether that be through grants, scholarships, or the federal Department of Ed, just a variety of different workshops.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we talked about this right before break. Here you are, you're a classroom teacher, you became a principal, and now you're doing this. Talk about what some learning you've had since you've been working for Wahupa. That, boy, this really surprised me about this group of folks I'm working with.
Yeah, the biggest thing that probably surprised me is there's so much opportunity out there for the students, and they don't know about these opportunities. So it's really getting in front of the students and allowing them to better understand what options they have, and allowing them to apply to different things that they really want to do. A great example is one of our students, again, didn't know what they wanted to do, didn't even know these resources were out there. We set up a little table event at one of the high schools. They walk by, get a flyer. Our services are completely free. And the student got to go on 6 different trips. They got to go to Disneyland. They got to go to different campuses. So a variety of different events that they never got to experience before.
It's interesting. And Kristen knows this. She's heard this since she's been co-hosting this, and Brandon also. And it's never lost on us on our show. Now I've been doing this for 18 years, is how many kids, and we'll just focus on San Diego County, who have not had any of these experiences. They've never been to the beach, which is people going, how's that even possible? It's possible. And you know that. Or have not been to the mountains, who have not been to a Padres game, who have not been to stuff. And you've got to take a step back and say there are plenty of folks that have never had these opportunities. And you're so spot on this. We can't talk about this enough. Every single day we got to yell from the mountaintop, here are these opportunities for you. They're ready for you to take. How do you get the word out? What's the best way to get the word out? Obviously, a podcast like this doesn't hurt. I hope it doesn't hurt at all. What are the ways you are to get the word out?
We are partnering with all the high schools within San Diego County. So we have about 30 partners. Yeah. And we do a variety of tabling events at different community events. And a great example is we went to a couple swap meets, set up our table to get some of the word out there. Additional, you can go to our website to better support us.
Yeah, it is. What website is what?
The website is www.wahupa.org.
Now, do you have enough resources to not turn down anyone, or how does that work?
Absolutely. We are always looking to support students.
That's
no
great.
Student would be turned down.
Wow.
As long as they attend some of our partnering schools and are low income and first gen.
Right. Now, this is in San Diego County, correct?
Correct.
Is there sister Wahupa in LA County or in the Bay Area, or you're it?
We are it. So we are very fortunate to have started this nonprofit to support students in San Diego County.
Do you see this being replicated? I mean, it's such a great program. Do you see it being replicated in other parts of the state or the country?
Yeah, so we're, again, funded through the Department of Ed.
Yeah.
So there are other programs that are funded through the Department of Ed that have the same sort of mission.
Right.
Usually those are linked to universities rather than a 501c3 nonprofit.
Right.
But absolutely, I think it does need to be replicated. It's definitely a need out there and provides amazing services to the students.
Well, it changes lives for everyone, not just the students, but the families as well. What can our listeners do to support your efforts?
Yeah, I highly encourage our listeners, again, to go to that website and reach out to me via email. I am always looking at partnering with a variety of different people, whether that be volunteers or partnerships with organizations. So please reach out to me directly.
Right. So if you ever want to add podcasting to the list, and we do this quite a bit, we'll work with the schools to show them how to do their own podcasts, or some of them actually come in and co-host with me and all that. Obviously, podcasting has exploded since I started doing this 18 years ago, to say the least. But it's a great way to really get a student's voice out there, and we know how critical it is. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Any final comments?
No, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Brigitte Blazys, she is the executive director and CEO of Wahupa Educational Services. When you come back in after congratulations with the birth, that'll be just absolutely spectacular on this. And I know you're in great hands with Peter Kallstrom stepping into your interim. When you come back, why don't you bring in one or two of the students that have benefited from your services? What do you think?
Absolutely. We would love that.
We'll consider that a done deal. Kristen Fogel, do you have any final comments?
I don't. Thanks for the good work you do, and please come back soon.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that as well. I'm Drew Schlosberg, the Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing good things for all of us living in San Diego County. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.